Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Alright, so we covered the John Fetterman Dr. Oz debate. We took a look at both candidates. I gave you guys my take on John Fetterman and the whole situation. The question now remains, what are the impacts of this debate? Is the race about to drastically switch in Dr. Oz's favor? Well, obviously the only logical conclusion is absolutely yes. And boy oh boy are we already seeing it. To get a gauge on this stuff, all you gotta do is take a look at left-wing media, see what the post-debate focus groups are saying and see what the media is saying. And of course, the most important way to gauge it, delve into left-wing circles and left-wing media circles and see what the level of panic is. And folks, the level of panic is through the roof, frankly breaking the meter as leftoids are realizing that this whole thing is done. The John Fetterman experiment has collapsed, and these media moments which I'm about to show you guys pretty much all but confirm it. Let me show you exactly what's going on here. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so right ahead of election day, it's our favorite pastime, taking a look at what the people are saying through these focus groups. This little situation right over here, which went viral post-debate, is giving the Democrats a serious wake-up call. Take a look at what happened.
Definitely, I'm an independent, by the way. I was definitely leaning towards Fetterman, and I think I have totally changed to the Oz side.
Why?
I felt that Fetterman just looked like he didn't have command of the facts. I do think his condition, unfortunately, is going to affect his ability to do the job. I thought Oz was pretty clear on the issues, and I thought he presented himself well and definitely threw out some plans where I didn't see any plans coming out of Fetterman.
Well, I am a registered Democrat, and I was really focused on what I would hear from the candidates on the issue of abortion because I want to have control over my own maternal health choices. And so honestly, I was pleased to hear from Oz that he would vote against a federal abortion ban. That kind of surprised me and definitely drew a line in the sand between him and Mastriano, who I think is a very dangerous person to be in the governor's seat in Pennsylvania.
So you believed Oz in his position, and even though a Democrat, did that mean that you wanted to vote for him now? I haven't heard you mention your candidate, Fetterman.
Yeah, I was kind of shocking to see Fetterman. I will say that I think that he improved through the course of the debate. I think that he kind of got his footing, and it's good to hear from experts that they think that he might continue to improve over the course of the next few months. And so I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to go on Election Day, but I do know for sure that I'm voting for Shapiro.
Well, it seems as though little Chrissy Cuomo is back. I mean, that's one thing, with his little show on News Nation. But of course, Chris Cuomo isn't the news here. The focus group or the voter panel is. Two lifelong Democrat voters just told you, on air, on live television, that they're essentially voting for Dr. Oz after watching this debate. And probably my favorite part is how the whole abortion issue is collapsing on the Democrats, because of course the Democrat fear-mongering on the issue isn't lining up with reality. Democrats were telling their voters that Republicans are planning a national ban on abortions, which is just a straight-up outright lie. Republicans support state sovereignty and states' rights to dictate their own laws. Democrats have been fear-mongering that Republicans are coming for contraception next, and the list goes on and on. None of it is true, and in a lot of ways, Republican views and Republican policies and laws are pretty moderate and pretty nuanced. We tend to use the state of Florida as an example. Ron DeSantis is viewed as coming for women's rights, when Florida has a ban on the procedure after 15 weeks, which is 2 weeks after the first trimester. And so it seems a lot of people who have been fear-mongered by the left into thinking that their rights are in danger under a Republican government, well, they're starting to get a glimpse into what Republicans are actually saying, and their perspective is changing quite significantly. And then on top of that, Republicans are saying all the right things when it comes to tackling voter issues. And so you're seeing stuff like this.
Definitely, I'm an independent, by the way. I was definitely leaning towards Fetterman, and I think I have totally changed to the Oz side.
Where moderate Democrats or independents who might have been leaning John Fetterman have now been convinced that Dr. Oz is the right candidate because he's speaking to the issues and he's not as extreme as the media was making him out to be. It's just amazing how a little bit of exposure can change the whole thing. This is why debates are so incredibly important. This is why Katie Hobbs continues to run away, because this is what a debate does. You can be following CNN and MSNBC and Twitter accounts and attack ads, which will skew your perspective, but when you see the two candidates face to face discussing the issues, that in the end is what really seals the deal, and clearly that's what we're seeing in Pennsylvania. And then on the side of Republican voters, speaking of sealing the deal, Dr. Oz is doing a great job there.
Linwood, what did you think? You're a Republican. Did you like your candidate?
I love my candidate. I loved him. I loved him. He was really precise. His answers were crisp and definitely what I wanted to hear. Now it's no question about what people think because he said it directly out of his mouth. I really love that.
I think there's a lot of conservative voters who are a little bit skeptical about Dr. Oz. Well, after his debate performance, the skepticism has completely dissipated. People are realizing that Dr. Oz is the conservative that they've been looking for, and so the voters are beginning to shift. The results of this debate are as clear as day. WPXI released a poll for their viewers who won the Senate debate, thanks for voting, and based on the viewers' responses, Mehmet Oz got 83% of the vote as the clear, undeniable winner of this debate. The media reactions tell you all that you need to know here.
John Fetterman throughout the hour seemed to lose steam, and his answers became more incoherent the longer the debate went on.
It's not his fault, but Lieutenant Governor Fetterman struggled. And again, I'm not faulting him for it. I don't think his preparation was great, but he clearly is dealing with health issues that affect his ability to process and his ability to speak.
Anyone who's coming into this totally undecided, if you drop a voter into Harrisburg who had no engagement with this beforehand, it's hard to see them coming away terribly, terribly convinced by Fetterman there.
Why would you say that voters should be more concerned about, say, Mehmet Oz, including his problematic abortion answer, than John Fetterman, including his problematic fracking answer and his health issues?
Well, Brianna, those are exactly the sorts of things that Pennsylvanians will be weighing in the just 12 days left of campaigning before the midterm elections. I watched the debate last night. It was hard to watch, frankly.
There were some media talking heads who were willing to tell the truth, who were willing to be critical and point out the obvious of this debate. And then there's the other side, which is where you can really tell that Democrats are screwed here post-debate, who immediately started making excuses and started pushing copium, which shows you just how desperate they are and how clearly deep down inside they know this thing is over. Here's an MSNBC talking head suggesting that John Fetterman should have avoided the debate entirely.
Do you think the campaign team made a mistake by letting him debate in this format?
This idea that the speed of your response is somehow indicative of the way you would do the job is really faulty. And I think with even more months of recovery, he's going to be back to where he was. But I think he did really well.
Here are the ladies at The View suggesting that Dr. Oz was really just bullying John Fetterman.
Don't be fooled by that.
It's really strange. It was really strange to me that he chose to bully a stroke victim.
Yeah,
right? Like, he obviously was bullying him. And, I don't think the people of Pennsylvania or the people in general liked that, because Fetterman raised $1 million after that debate. And I think it takes real courage to show that you've been knocked down. I think it takes real bravery to allow people to see your weakness, right?
Here's another MSNBC talking head, Liz Plank, promoting the same talking point. Oz bullies Fetterman for missing debates due to stroke. Dr. Oz just gave a masterclass on how to bully people with disabilities. Absolutely insane. And here's more copium from the media, from the New York Times. What everyone should know about the brain's ability to heal. Essentially what they're trying to tell you is, don't worry, John Fetterman is just magically gonna get better. Yeah, I don't know about that. John Fetterman is done. The voter reaction is absolutely clear. If you take a look at John Fetterman's chances to win in the betting odds, I mean, he tanked almost immediately as he opened his mouth on the debate stage the other night. And probably the best part of all, or the biggest takeaway from that massive debate night, is that it wasn't just John Fetterman who was falling. Gretchen Whitmer got absolutely smoked by Tudor Dixon.
Tudor Dixon was the clear winner. She's speaking directly to the concerns top of voters' minds: inflation, the economy, gas and groceries, and parental rights. Gretchen Whitmer was largely defensive, and I think that came across through the entire debate. In fact, she was pretty dismissive in some ways of Tudor Dixon and the question a lot of voters have about her record.
And Lee Zeldin, running in New York against Kathy Hochul, also had an incredibly strong performance as he continues to catch up in the polls.
That she doesn't care about anything that goes on in our state. Nothing. It's out of control. You showed the guy before getting pushed onto the tracks. She doesn't want to put more people in there. She wants to keep people out of jail, not use bail. Why? Why? What's wrong with bail? It only affects criminals.
These debates are changing everything, folks, and we're seeing it with the voters, we're seeing it with the focus groups, and we're going to see it in the data in a couple days here. Not only is Dr. Oz going to win, but it looks like Tudor Dixon might stand a chance, and it looks like Lee Zeldin might be the next governor of New York, a Republican. I mean, geez, if Lee Zeldin manages to pull this thing off, I mean, this guy is a legend. But it's clear what the outcomes were here, folks. Across the board, Republicans did an absolutely stellar job. The messaging has been really strong, which is usually the weakness when it comes to Republican candidates or the Republican establishment as a whole. It seems almost like the Trump effect has had a lasting impact on the party. The proof is right in front of you, folks. Republican messaging is working, it's targeting voters, it's inspiring confidence in voters, and after these debates, folks, it's looking like the red tsunami is definitely here, and it might be much bigger than people are expecting. That's what I got for you guys, though. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. I got another video I gotta record, so I'm gonna get to that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.